What's going on? We back, Motor City Sports Talk. We in the building, and as you know, if you don't count the fullback, I think the fullback that got hurt from San Diego State, former quarterback, is coming back this year. I think he tore his knee up. But if you don't count the fullback, the Lions are now carrying 4 running backs. Kerryon, C.J. Anderson got signed yesterday. Zach Zenner, Theo Riddick. And my question is, do the Lions cut bait with Zach Zenner or Theo Riddick and draft a running back, or are they set at running back? It's the question, and let's talk about it. We back once again. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, bell icon button. Won't miss another video. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can follow us on all those platforms. All those links in the description, or you can hit me up in the email. I do rebuttal. And don't forget we got the playlist kind of categorizing the content as well. Lions talk, live streams, Tigers. I started checking a little bit more about them. Lions, Pistons, you know, the whole shebang. But like I said before, I did a video about C.J. Anderson. I mentioned Zach Zenner. Did a couple videos on Zach Zenner. I mentioned him last couple weeks, and I feel that he ain't really getting the fair shake. I felt that he was a better option, you know, when he got in during the season than LeGarrette Blount. It just seemed like the Lions are just trying to forcefully, you know, make it a running back by committee like New England had done. You know, I had a few years where, you know, it was Corey Dillon, and then Antoine Smith carried the load for a minute. But for the most part, you know, you had a few running backs, you know, spilling in there. Burkhead, Danny Woodhead there a couple years ago. Who else you didn't had up in there? The guy from the kid from that went to Tennessee. So you had a few guys that's rotating in there over the years. And I feel like the Lions are trying to mimic that with their running back, but not all the time does that work. Sometimes you got to feed the high hand, and a lot of the times the Lions just can't get 1 + 1 right. You know, they gotta, you know, we gotta carry this. No, it's just sometimes 1 + 1 is 1, and you can overthink things. You know what I'm saying? I understand that they trying to preserve Kerryon Johnson body and all that, but I just felt that Zach Zenner was a better back, especially down the stretch because he was fresher. He hadn't took the beating, you know, last year and over the accumulation of years than LeGarrette Blount. And I felt that he should have got the back, and I feel that Zach Zenner definitely deserved his spot to compete for that second running back position. But whatever they paid C.J. Anderson and what he carried on from last year and some success he had way back in Denver, his seniority and his clout is going to overtake Zach Zenner. So pretty much Zach Zenner is probably going to be battling with Theo Riddick. And like I said before in my last video about Anderson, about Zenner, he need to work on his route running and his catching out the backfield if he want to have a chance. I feel that in the straight line speed, he is faster than Theo Riddick, and I feel he a better overall running back when you're talking about just pure running. Riddick provides more shiftiness. He provides more versatility with catching out the backfield, and that may be the reason why, you know, Zach Zenner might be, you know, buried on the inactive list or cut or find himself back on a practice squad. But it's been talks about the Lions can cut Theo, Christian Jones, Sam Martin. Ain't none of them moving. They still roughly, I don't know what they gave Anderson, they still roughly around that $30 million mark in cap space. So get them a lot of flexibility. But at this point, do the Lions still think about drafting a running back, or are they set? You know, and that's a good question. You know, in my opinion, I felt that Theo Riddick should have hit the door with Ameer Abdullah. He is what he is. He's a shifty running back that can catch, but he don't, you know, provide any nothing in the running game no more. Everybody knowing he in the game, it's basically gonna be a pass play. He gonna pass protect, or if he running the ball, he ain't gonna get to where he might too much further than that second level. You can catch him because he ain't fast. You know, in my opinion, I feel that Zenner is the better pure running back at this point in his career. But it could come where they still can cut Zenner or Riddick. They probably can cut both if they find a running back they like. But I think that's what they're gonna run with this year. I think they're not gonna draft a running back. They got Anderson. I think that was their final move, unless somebody on their big board, you know, falls in their lap and they like them a hell of a lot, or somebody get in trouble, somebody get injured in the offseason before the draft. That's the only way, in my opinion. I think they're gonna roll out with these 4. I think possibly one of them get cut still, and they could just roll out with 3 running backs so they could push Zach to the practice squad and have him there. But I do think Zach Zenner deserves to have a larger role, but they keep honing the hell out of him. And I know he's frustrated, but you got to keep working, got to keep improving your game, pass protection, running routes, catching the ball, and you got to stay ready because he do have talent. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like if they are going to draft a running back, they need to move on from Theo Riddick. I just think he, a lot of people, they know what he going to do. They know he going to run that option route, the Texas route. He ain't going to outrun nobody on the field other than a D lineman. And some D linemen, you got guys like Montez Sweat in this league that's running the 4.4, can hawk him. So I think if they are thinking about bringing a running back in, maybe they do some scouting. They get one in the 6th, 7th round, or they get an undrafted rookie like they found in Denver with Philip Lindsay. He was a local guy. They found him. You know what I'm saying? And, the Lions have had luck with a local guy named Drake Bell for a minute, even though I think he started off in Buffalo and moved around the league. But eventually he found somewhat of a home here and just got, beat down. And throughout this seasons, and him and Reggie started fumbling down the stretch of that season. But, running back that I've been evaluating some running backs, and I started the draft spotlight up probably tonight or tomorrow. I've been working on some things for the page, both of my pages, upgrading my artwork, working on some new intros. I'll get to doing that tomorrow. But I like the Henderson kid from Memphis. Yeah, people say he run too high, and that could be some chest, collarbone injuries. He do got to change his pad level, but just the explosiveness that he run with, I just don't think it was just the competition in Conference USA. His number stepped up that he is an explosive athlete. Smaller guy, not too small, strong guy. Like him a lot. Don't know exactly where he's going to fall. Don't exactly know where the running back's going to fall. The Jacobs kid from Alabama, he's supposed to be the best. But it is some other guys out there. They got the other kid from Alabama. So we'll see. I don't think this is a running back rich league, at least at the top. But like I said before, Henderson, I love him for the Lions offense. He brings a Java best element the Lions haven't had. Even when Reggie Bush was here, Reggie Bush was quick. He was athletic. He was fast. But I just think he was a little bit beat down by the time he got here. He was a little bit old. But Henderson is young, spry, fast. But if the Lions roll out the 4 they got, I ain't mad at it. I think Zach Zenner can, I think he's a number 2 running back when he's healthy. But can he stay healthy? That's a problem. Anderson is a boulder. But like I said before, this team just lacks that elite level speed on offense. They lack that game breaker. Now, if they can somehow obtain Noah Fant, then that get them a game breaker at tight end, some speed down the middle. But with Darrell Bevel, use his tight end, it's the seam routes, the post route down the middle, the wheel routes, the 9 routes, the post corner routes, double move routes on the outside. Will he allow Noah Fant to get vertical? Now, he let Luke Wilson get vertical in Seattle, and Luke Wilson moved on to the Raiders. It's like we swapping players with the Raiders, man. Like, we could have just made some of them trades. They took Nevin Lawson. They took Luke Wilson. We took Rashad Melvin, but yeah, if they're going to let him get vertical, but I just feel like they need that game breaker on offense, man. And that can help Stafford a lot. Somebody he can throw a 2-yard screen to, he could take it to the house. Somebody he could pitch it to, hand it off to, and just could take it to the house. You know what I'm saying? Henderson, I know New Orleans worked him out. Obviously, they lost Mark Ingram, and they brought somebody else in. I can't remember, but, I mean, they get Henderson with Alvin Kamara, and Henderson is what I believe he is as advertised. He's going to be a problem over there. But, hey, Kerryon is the guy. Him and C.J. Anderson going to be a brand new 1-2 punch. And we'll see what happens with Zenner and Theo Riddick. Now, my personal opinion, like I said before, you could run with the 4. But if it was me, I'll cut Riddick, and I'll try to find a way to get an explosive back like Henderson. That's just my personal opinion. I like Zach Zenner a lot. Anderson is good. He on a 1-year prove-it deal. For some reason, those dudes usually come to the Lions and they don't prove it. But he under 30. He ain't as old as Blunt. So he going to provide some short yardage thing, some short yardage running back with Darrell Bevel like the, banking up the middle and Kerryon to be able to bang it up the middle, play the outside. And then, you got Zenner, who can do that as well too. And then you got Theo Riddick that can catch it as well. But a lot of people don't know Kerryon can catch that thing just as good, if not better, in the receiving game than Theo Riddick because of his youth and his spry, and him being spry and fast. But like I said before, love to hear you guys' opinion on the running back situation. I have no issue if they ran those the 4 plus the running back. They ran a fullback, they ran with in the regular season. But hey, it is what it is. Motor City Sports Talk. Love to hear you guys' opinion in the comment section. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out to the email if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request, or you just want to chop it up. Salute to everybody that reached out to your boy. I think I responded pretty much to everybody. Fastest way to get in touch with me is email, then Twitter. But appreciate it, man. Let me know what you guys think about the running back situation.